First off, I'd love to thank our fans for the contributions they made in Chrysler this year. We created a home court environment. We had great energy, especially tonight with spring break and people out of town. Obviously, the last couple we haven't performed at the level that we'd like, but this is part of it. And obviously, we'd love to be riding a wave of success right now, but we've got to figure some things out. And there's a lot of very meaningful, heightened basketball in front of us in the near future. And personally, I'm excited for the opportunity and the challenge to get this thing going in the right direction as we head into postseason.
Eli?
Yeah. Danny talked a little bit about the offense becoming stagnant a little bit. It did seem like the ball was sticking a little bit. What's the way kind of, to navigate around an offense that is kind of stagnating versus an offense that's moving around?
Well, the cutting early and then the ball fakes. They change defenses. They're running a zone to man to zone. And so it comes down to concepts and principles, and we didn't play with great discipline. Against a defense like this, the one-handed hook passes, and I do think when we penetrated, they collapsed on Vlad, and we didn't find the penetration reactions that we need to against a team like that. But credit Maryland, they keep you off balance. There's a reason they're the second best defense in our league, while playing really only 5 guys that are in their rotation. So, but we were static. We didn't finish around the rim when we had opportunities, and obviously, tonight though, for us to shoot 7 for 20 is actually, that's moving in the right direction for us. So, when you're not finishing, you're turning it over, and you're not shooting well from 3, you got to figure out other ways. And I think credit our guys; they fought like crazy and dug in and tried to win an ugly one, and we just came up short.
Tony?
Dusty, this is not the first time that you guys don't control your destiny in the Big Ten. I guess could you just share your mindset with the team? Obviously, it depends whatever happens in Iowa, right? So
yeah, obviously we're big Hawkeye fans. In the meantime, but most importantly, we need to get back to playing good team basketball. We need to be more connected as a group, and all of us that have been in that locker room that have been on different teams, every championship caliber team that we've been on, we've went through stretches like this, and then the best ones they fight through it, and they become closer, and they become they work with more unity, and then all the others just kind of splinter and point fingers and blame, and so this is a big test for us. This is the most adversity this group has faced, and so we'll learn a lot about ourselves here these next few weeks.
Do you have a sense which way this group is going?
I have a lot of confidence in these guys. We've got great character in the locker room. We have good players. I wish there's a button to get more playing up to their capabilities, but we're not giving up on anyone. I believe in this group, just like I did when we recruited them. A lot of times the coaches late in the season, talk about this and that, and it's like you got to rewind and think about why you recruited them and what you saw early on, and try to bring out the best in them, because I think in athletics a lot of guys aren't happy with the way they perform on every night, and it's, how do we get closer to our best effort?
16 turnovers, but 12 of those were steals. In your experience, how do you kind of limit those live ball turnovers while still letting elite passers like Trey and still free them up?
To begin in the second half, I think we didn't make great decisions, and then the stretch with 5 or 6 minutes left, I thought we were competing at a really, really high level, and we were just playing a little bit sped up and fast. We just looked excitable during that stretch, and tried to force it into Vlad, who had it going, and credit Maryland, they collapsed on him, and like I said, their bigs have really, really good instincts, especially in their drop coverage. So we didn't make great decisions, and at that time you're weighing whether to continue to attack and try to get it inside and find threes early, or do you slow it out and get organized. Obviously, if we're resulting, I should have stopped this and gotten more organized in those possessions.
Andrew?
Dusty, to bring out the best in this group right now, do you sense you need to build confidence or challenge them?
Build confidence, or what was the second part?
Or I guess challenge them, kind of ride them a little bit, or I don't know.
If we didn't fight the second half, I would think challenge would be the word. That we looked dazed, but I thought we competed in the second half as well as we've had. As well as we had at any point this season. Obviously, we weren't banging in shots. We weren't finishing, possessions the way we needed to. But, the thing of it is with confidence, it's not as if there's no history of guys playing well, and there's no evidence of it happening. So all the guys in our locker room have a lot of evidence and background of playing basketball at a high level, and so we've got to figure out a way to regroup, ground ourselves, and find that energy and synergy that you need to play well, play good basketball.
Clayton?
Seems like there's a big difference in efficiency between half-court offense and when you guys have a little bit of pace. I mean, how can you try to generate that? I assume it starts on the defensive end, which led some of those runs there.
Yeah, when we're rebounding the ball, we're pretty good with numbers and when we're finding our spacing and when we get to the second or third side within 5 or 6 seconds. Like I said, I thought we got excited. We were playing well and we were right on the cusp. We cut it to 2. And at that point, I thought we just tried to just do a little bit too much. And I think it was all from a good place. It wasn't selfishness. It was from a good place of trying to win that possession. But, we don't have the margin right now to be able to do that. Early in the year, we were making shots. And so when you're making shots, you have the margin to turn it over. And now, with us not shooting as well as we're capable of, we don't have the margin for the turnovers. So we've got to do a better job of value to basketball and figuring out different ways to win.
Kellen?
Vlad was saying over here that Maryland was guarding him in a different way than a lot of teams when he caught the ball. Is that just the collapsing that you were referring to, or was there something specific that they were doing to kind of like slow him down at times?
They were sometimes they came right away, and then other times they came late, and they were really just choosing different guys to come off of. So it wasn't as if they were coming off the passer or coming from the opposite big, and so he didn't really know where they were coming from. So when he got deep position, or when we got it to him on the elbow and Danny dove, I thought we generated some really good looks other than his last possession. And in that one, the dust settled and we probably needed to get to an uphill handoff, but he had it going, and I don't know whose defender came from behind and stopped him, and then his guy was able to get it for a jump ball.
Sorry, it seems like he's posting up in the middle of the lane more often than he was earlier in the season. Is that an emphasis from you guys, or is that just how Maryland was playing him?
No, we're trying to go more middle third post ups just because they're helping. The help's coming from the weak side pretty aggressively and sitting in the paint and mucking it up. So we're simply just trying to find different ways to get him touches without too much traffic. And usually in transition before they're organized is typically the best way.
Charles?
Yeah, Danny mentioned that slow starts have been an issue in recent weeks. Why do you think that is, and how can you get that corrected?
I mean, tonight I thought we had 0 turnovers of first media. I think we were down 5-4, if I remember. Is that correct? 5-4. We had 0 turnovers. I thought we'd gotten to the rim a couple times. I think there's maybe one shot that was questionable. I thought we were playing good basketball, so I wouldn't call tonight a slow start. At 1 point deficit when you're playing pretty well. The last game at home it was the same way. Other than the shot just before the media, I thought we played good ball. We got it inside. Danny and Vlad around the rim. The game before, Danny got stripped twice at the rim. We're getting the ball to Danny against Boswell, our guard at the rim, every day, twice on Sunday. So I guess I look at it as more how are we playing. That stretch to start the second half tonight with the turnovers, we didn't play well when we've had these lulls in each half that just we don't look as connected as we need to win.
Andrew, you want to close us out?
In your coaching career, even as an assistant, you have an experience with a team like dipping at this time of year, but then figuring it out when you get into the true single elimination.
I mean, usually the dips occur when you're playing really good teams. So when you look at our schedule, it's we knew this would be a challenge, and we put ourselves in position where all these games were where you need them to be. But when you look at the standings, typically the dip coincides with the schedule. I know Michigan State's dip was a West Coast road trip. Illinois' dip, I believe, was when they played the top teams on the road. Maryland's dip has been buzzer beaters on the road against the really good teams. So I don't know. I'm sure there's been times when you don't play well for a week, depending on who you're playing and where you're going with. And also every team's different. Some you're really deep, some you're not so deep. Sometimes you're sick, sometimes you're injured. So not offhand.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much.